Okay, so you're feeling the diaphragm's a little
Yeah.
bit tight, is it? Okay. Again, I'm watching colour. So you're quite pale. I'd like to see that nice flushed pink colour. Again, my finger here is following the rib cage, because last thing you want to do is put pressure on the rib cage, because that's not going to feel very nice for the client.
And when you come down, you feel the pressure.
Feel the pressure at the cup,
Yeah,
is it?
yeah.
Okay.
But it's not painful or anything. It's
Okay, you're just aware that there is a
Yeah.
little bit of pressure there. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would it feel?
about a 3.
About a 3. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. Okay, so notice we're starting to get a little bit of colour here, which is good. So exactly what we want.
Does it matter the size of the cups, Tracy?
Not at all. I tend to try and kind of use the biggest cups that I can.
Yeah.
But again, it depends on the client. If a client is finding the bigger cup is too distressing, because remember you are having a bigger suction area with a bigger cup. Always work to what the client is feeling comfortable with, because at the end of the day, especially on the abdomen area of the diaphragm, you want them to relax.
Yeah.
So if Linda was very nervous and she was holding, then it's defeating the purpose of what I'm trying to do. Okay? So now you can see we get a little bit of heat in there. So you can keep, if somebody's like asthmatic or has breathing difficulties, you could spend even just 20 minutes just on the diaphragm area. So I'm just going to work on the one side. Remember, go right up in, find the xiphoid process right there. And you work from there all the way out to the end of the false ribs here. You got tickles? Okay, so now we're going to work, find our ileocecal valve. So I'm moving on to the abdomen sequence now. Remember, I need to sit a few minutes there, spend more time on the other side. So for me, it's almost as if you're going to come down. You know when you're finding the psoas to work on? You're almost coming down in the same direction, but just not as low as you would come down for the psoas. Call our ileocecal valve, find my ribs, there's my ribs there, and come underneath the ribs. So this, I'm gliding the cup in here, under, oops, apologies. And, you okay?
Yeah.
Everyone's a little bit tight?
No.
Okay. This one's my ileocecal, this one is my gallbladder, and I'm just going to leave them sit. So they come at an angle. So here's your big circle that we're going to work on for, and I think like the belly button is the centre of your circle as such. Okay, look for colours, any sensations, anything feel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, somebody older, or sometimes people say you get the bubbly effect, or that sensation if the ileocecal valve opens, you get that little rush of juices that come from the small intestine. That's what they call it, like a champagne fizz. Okay. So you I'd have left that one on a little bit longer now in a clinic situation, because I want to get a colour that was really pale. So all the time you're aiming for that lovely pink flush. Too pale, you're aiming for the pink flush. Too dark, too purples, too blues, you want to bring it down. So you want to make it detox it to make that a little bit healthier. Okay, perfect. You alright?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to start on the abdomen. You're going to pump all the way around. And again, you notice I'm working in the clockwise position, even from the pumping. Stop laughing. I just have you laughing, your abs would laugh. Again, you can just keep pumping as often as you need to. Again, very nervous client, you might spend more time pumping than you might do any other movement, because it might be more relaxing for them just so they relax.
Would it be for hormonal issues?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. I just think the digestive system is such a neglected area, and if you can get in there, you really can get to the root of where a lot of issues are coming from. So whether it's slow healing, again, as you say, whether it is hormonal issues, autoimmune conditions, I mean, we're being fed by the gut.
Mm-hmm.
So if the gut isn't working correctly, everything else is on the back foot, you know? So I think a lot of time is not enough time is spent by anybody on working on the digestive system. So now to do a glide is a little bit tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a rotation all the way around. So I want to get freedom of movement. I'm actually going to pack that one there. That one's a little bit stuck. That's your dinner last night, my dear Linda.
Yeah, I know. I only had a sandwich.
It doesn't matter, it's still sitting there.
Yeah.
So again, but look at the colours.
Yeah, it's very pale, isn't it?
Very pale. So what am I aiming for, do you think? Lovely
Pink.
pink flush. Yeah, I want to get that nice pink flush in. Very, very pale. I'm just doing a little bit of fictions here.
That's over. Right.
Now I'm starting to get a little bit of pink in. And you could use 2 cups as well if you wanted. Okay, this cup is sitting there just over a minute, I would say, and we're still very, very pale.
Not enough lettuce in the sandwich.
Or maybe too much lettuce. Because lettuce isn't a good thing. Well, our body doesn't break down green leaves. So as Irish people, the last thing we should be eating is, anyone living in an Irish climate should be eating is raw salad leaves. Body can't break them down.
Really?
Cellulose is too high, yeah.
But if you
It's
juice it,
Salads can cause huge digestive problems.
but if you juice it,
You don't
Same
really
thing.
juice
Same
thing.
lettuce. Yeah.
Like
Okay.
salads are not something we should kind of be really having a lot of in this climate, because our bodies are not designed to break them down. Raw food is extremely hard to break down, even if it's like fruit,
do you mean if we are not from Ireland, from other parts?
but you're still living in the Irish climate.
Oh yeah, okay. It's the climate, not where,
Exactly,
where
yeah.
we are getting from.
Well, you can, if you go deep
genetically.
enough with it, Jerry, you're looking at the genetics of where the person comes from. But just if you want to take it just on a superficial level, salads are extremely hard. You need to have a digestive system of an ox to break down salad.
So
Raw
what should we
tomatoes,
eat?
raw vegetables, raw fruit, not good for our system at all. Actually cause symptoms like IBS.
That's why Irish people eat so much cooked, like turnip, carrots,
Yeah.
broccoli,
Starting getting the
cauliflower.
colour, thank God.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's very
Listen
interesting.
your raw food. And I know there's raw foodies out there who will kind of say no, that I'm wrong. I agree, yes, raw food can be fantastic for you if you've got a really strong, powerful digestive system. We live in a damp environment, we tend to not have. So if you live in the environment that needs cooked warm food, and then you throw a load of raw cold food on top of it, no wonder we end up with digestive issues, which can cause your hormonal issues. Yeah? Okay, so you can spend as long as you want on this. What you're trying to do is create heat. Still haven't got colour in that side there, so we need to kind of come back and do that. So once you have done your circular movements in whichever way you feel is going to benefit the client, for Linda it was more stopping, do my rotations without the cup actually moving. But feel what the client feels as you're moving on the colon. Some areas will be smooth, some areas will be sticky. Like I'm over a rectus femoris. You can kind of might have it smooth coming up from the patella, and then you hit kind of your anterior 45 and you kind of go, oh, that's a bit sticky. So same with the digestive system, you might park it, you might work and do fictions in that area. You can also then work transverse. Just have a couple more on those small ones. So to get into those points, I took them off the board. So the 6 points I was talking about. So again, xiphoid process, lower ribs, under the top of the lower ribs. So what you're aiming for, xiphoid process, is just in under here. So you're not clearing the ribs completely. 1. That's nice and pink. 2. Come below. And now we're heading down more towards the rectum sort of area. There we go. And I leave those ones sitting there for about a minute. Again, what I'm watching is colours. Nice and pink, still very, very pale on the digestive area. How are you digestively anyway, Linda? Would you have a strong digestion? Would it
No.
be poor?
Poor.
You'd have a poor digestion, so that might explain the lack of circulation in the area and the paleness as well. So it'd be a good task if you're giving your client a series of abdomen treatments is to keep checking in with them. Any change in the digestive system. Generally they're going to tell you it's going to start getting stronger. They'll probably feel more energy because now they're absorbing more nutrients. And it should also try and regulate their the times that they have bowel movements. Like ideally you should have bowel movements first thing in the morning because it clears you for the rest of the day. But you're having a client who's saying, I'm having my bowel movements after lunch or in the evening time, that's detrimental to their digestive system because that means that they're having fecal matter sitting in the intestines, which is fermenting, giving off toxins. So that could be the cause of headaches. That could be the cause of acid indigestion. So if you can regulate them that they're starting, what you're aiming for is having that bowel movements first thing in the morning. Now I know we're stepping outside of sports injuries and you think, what has this got to do with anything? But for that athlete who's coming into you, who's not healing because of a ligament injury, this is vitally important. For that athlete who's not performing on the pitch because of nerves, this is very important. And I've yet to have a GA player say to me, will you get those things off my tummy? They actually love it. Most people, while they get used to the idea of it, they actually really like it. There's a comfort factor about it when you get heat into your tummy. That lovely warm kind of cosy feelings, like getting, you know, a hug or a duvet, you know, on a really, really crappy winter's day, that cosy warm feeling about it, you know. So I'd get a little bit of pinkness, yeah. I'd like to see a little bit more. So for Linda, if Linda had come in for a treatment, I'd seen this, I'd be suggesting an hour of the abdomen for her treatment. You get that lovely toasty warm. Okay, and again, always finish off with your pumping, always finish off with a little bit of gliding. Okay, cup kisses, they'll be gone in about an hour because they're not severe ones. Okay, okay guys, you want to go and have a